Hello students, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to study how the formed elements are made. You know very well blood composition has three types of formed elements, RBC, WBC and platelets. And the process by which these blood cells are made, that process is known as haemotopoiesis or haemopoiesis. Now see carefully, before birth, it is first occurring in the yolk sac and later it occurs in the liver and spleen. And finally, the bone marrow, it becomes the primary site of the hematopoiesis in the last 3 months before birth and continues to be the source of blood cell even after birth and throughout the life. So if suppose the sequence, first is your yolk sac, second is liver and spleen, okay, and last right now bone marrow, which is continuing. If you know, there are two types of bone marrows are there. One is red bone marrow, which is highly vascularized because they contain the stem cells, which can develop into the blood cells. Then is yellow bone marrow, which contain fat cells. So blood are made only in the red bone marrow. This is the one where the blood cells will be made. If you see the young one which is born, in the newborn, all bone marrow is initially red color. With increasing age, the bone marrow changes from red to yellow. So red bone marrow is present only in the limited number of bones in the adult, for example, in the ribs, sternum, vertebra, pelvis, and upper end of humerus and femur bone. Now, the process of the formation of the blood cells, that is known as haemopoiesis, will begin when the stem cell, which is multipotent stem cell, is exposed to different type of chemicals, and that chemicals are known as hemopoietic growth factors, which will make the stem cells to divide and differentiate. When they are dividing, what will happen? We have already studied in the video of the stem cell. One cell will retain the power of division, another cell will become as a precursor for the maturation. So one daughter cell remains stem cell and other will go for specialization. So you can see in the diagram. Now let me show you. Now see beta, this is your multipotent stem cells. So it gives rise to two types of stem cells more, myeloid stem cells and lymphoid stem cells. Myeloid stem cells will make these progenitor cells. These are the progenitor cells and these are the precursor cells. And finally, these are the formed elements which are made. So you can see RBC, platelets are made from one large cell that is known as megakaryocytes. They are the cell fragments of large cell megakaryocyte. Eosinophil, basophil, neutrophil, and monocytes. All these, okay, beta, all these are coming from which stem cell? They are coming from myeloid stem cell. The myeloid stem cell is giving rise to all the blood cell except lymphocytes and natural killer cells. Okay, except lymphocyte and natural killer cell. Please focus the diagram very carefully. Now, lymphoid stem cell. Lymphoid stem cell will give rise to, if you see separate line is there, this is the progenitor cell which will give rise to B lymphocyte. Another progenitor cell will differentiate either T lymphocyte or natural killer cell. So this is the way how the differentiation of the stem cells is done. Myeloid stem cell will give rise to RBC, platelets, and granulocytes and monocyte. Monocyte is a granulocyte. Lymphoid stem cell will give only lymphocytes along with it natural killer cells. Right now we studied that hemopoiesis will be under the control by few growth factors, hemopoietic growth factors. So one important hemopoietic growth factor is erythropoietin. Actually, it is a glycoprotein hormone. It is a hormone which is secreted by the interstitial fibroblast cell of the kidney in response to low oxygen level. So you can see when the oxygen carrying capacity decreases, then kidney will release erythropoietin. You can see these are the erythropoietin which is released from the kidney. And they are targeting the bone marrow to increase the production of RBC. More and more RBC production increases. So it increases the production of RBC. Now, they know that RBC is the one which carries the oxygen. So what happened? Misuse is also going on. Some athletes, they are using synthetic erythropoietin to improve their performance. Okay, for the performance improve. And we say this is blood doping is going on. This is that is why athlete test is also done. Have they taken any chemical for doping purpose or what? So because they want to increase their RBC count so that oxygen delivery can go properly and performance will be improved. So this is synthetic EPO is banned in most organized sport, but it is used to treat medically the people who are suffering from anemia. By recombinant DNA technology, they are preparing it to treat the person suffering from anemia, and anemia is caused by certain types of cancer or disorders in which RBC is not able to carry sufficient amount of oxygen. So in that case, it is used medically. It is used medically also to treat disorders. But it has been banned to use by the sports person because they are misusing it for the improving of the performance. Second growth factor is your thrombotin. It is another type of glycoprotein which is produced by liver and kidney to make the production of platelets from megakaryocytes. Next growth factor is your cytokines. They are also glycoprotein. They are secreted by red bone marrow, leukocytes, macrophage, fibroblast, and endothelial cells. They can act as autocrine, making the self-stimulation, or paracrine, making the nearby cell to stimulate the proliferation of progenitor cells and help both non-specific and specific resistance to disease. Now, two main type of cytokines are there. See carefully. One is your CSF, another is your interleukin. And they both are helping in production of blood cells. Okay, some can trigger the formation of granular cells, some can trigger the formation of monocytes, they can induce the proliferation, so they can be used to treat patients which are suffering from the cancer in which the RBC count is going down, the synthetic form is given. So in this video, we have tried to understand what is haemopoiesis. Haemopoiesis means formation of blood cells, which is done first in the yolk sac, then in the liver and spleen before birth, and just last 3 months of the delivery, means last 3 months before birth till the person entire life, the bone marrow is taking place. Is the site where the RBC blood cell formation is done. Two types of bone marrow. The blood formation will be done in the red bone marrow, and blood cell formation will be done under the influence of the few hemopoietic growth factors, which are your erythropoietin, thrombopoietin, or cytokines. Cytokines can be again two types, colony stimulating factors, or they can be interleukins. Now, if you see, multipotent stem cells will make two types of stem cells, myeloid and lymphoid. Lymphoid will give rise to only lymphocytes and natural killer cells. It means remaining all cells, that is RBC, platelets, eosinophil, basophil, neutrophil, and monocytes. They all are coming from myeloid stem cells. So I hope so this video has helped you to learn in detail the topic. Thanks for watching.